course it is Jérôme Butchered it. Jérôme Negre.
There we go. Very gay of you.
And yeah, and of course Chicks Dig Elo, which is a lot more masculine and cool name.
You know what? Not only Chicks Dig Elo, the WCG spectator digs Elo. He was getting full-on fanboyism with Reginald and Dyrus while we're in the chat waiting for that game. Here we go. So bands coming in. It is going to be Yorick and Lee Sin taken away by France there. And Rise. Yorick, of course, played heavily by Dyrus in the IEM qualifiers and over at... actually, wasn't that heavy in IEM qualifiers. They got knocked out pretty quick there. MLG, that's the one. MLG Providence. Rise and Ram.
This is round 2. France versus Chicks Dig Elo. Chicks Dig Elo won the first round. I hope you enjoy and listen to the commentary.
Gragas taken away this time, not having Reginald on Gragas. So targeted bans all the way from France this time around. And the final ban will of course be Graves. I would say it's targeted to Yellow Star, but you know, Graves is pretty much great by anyone. He's definitely one of the stronger AD heroes out there. So what will the first pick be from France? Will they go for anything crazy this time around, or will they try to stick normal? We do have that little flickering. I notice it's not just us, Joe. Look, you just keep your eye on this left-hand side. It does pop in and out.
I'm not sure what that is at all, to be honest.
It's worrying. So
when I first saw it, I just thought it would be a long day. My eyes were going a little bit funny, but apparently not. So Cogmore going to come out, and we've seen Yellow Star before with Cogmore. Definitely an amazing Cogmore player. I mean, without a doubt, Yellow Star is one of the top 80 carries in the world. We've seen him, I think, in Season 1, almost the entire season, he was like top Elo. He was top for a long time. They've let Cogmore go. We'll see how well he does in this one. Picked for CDE coming out are going to be St. Vicious on Karthus, or maybe, obviously not St. Vicious on Karthus, or maybe I mean, let's not rule that out. We saw it in game number 1, Karthus in the jungle. X-Special picking up Gangplank there. I'd imagine that they'll be changing, though, this time.
But you never know, St. Vicious might be going, you know what, I'm going to show you how to do that. To the semi-final for another wild strategy. What will France pick up from this one? Titus and Soaz making the choices for Team France. Obviously they will switch them round. It is going to be Jana by the looks of it as their support. Sona is available. They are choosing to go with Jana. Definitely both fully viable. And I don't think Kuja likes playing Sona. But I actually think Jana works better with Cogmore. Yeah, I think he does. And it's looking like they're going to take Udyr away from Dyrus as well. So, will it be Dyrus playing Gangplank top? He did against China, I believe. No, Dignitas. It's been a long day. He did play Gangplank against Dignitas earlier on, from what I was watching. And having to watch 4 screens at once and try and take it all in, it gets a pretty chaotic. And it will be Trundle, and it's going to be Corky again for Chowster. Well, why not? I mean, he did so well in the last game. I'm not too sure how with Cogmore, they're going to have a bit of a meat shield in front of him to prevent anything. I mean...
Udyr is that meat shield.
Well, the Karthus ulti knocks down Cogmore's hit points quite quickly. He doesn't have a great deal of hit points unless he actually builds towards it. So he can easily get picked off. What will they build? I mean, obviously Udyr is going to be a great meat shield. Will they go for possibly another strong tanky hero up the top lane? Will it be Aurelia possibly? Or could we be seeing Talent? That is a good counter to Karthus if it is Karthus in the mid. And more to the point, will it be Talent in the mid? And will it be Soaz playing it? I believe I've seen Soaz playing Talent before in one of the matches.
In qualifiers at some point.
I think it was IEM New York.
Yeah. And Galio looking like he's going to be going for the AP champion.
That's the tankiness we talked about. So I would guess that's going to be Galio up top, Udyr in jungle, and Talon in the mid for Team France. So what will the final pick be for CDE? They're going to need
Sona.
Yeah, you're going to assume it's going to be support. It could be Gangplank support. It's entirely possible. But I would have thought it's really down to Chowster, whether Chowster feels he can get away with it, whether he's get any elder support? I'm guessing it's going to be Sona. I mean, really? No, it's going to be Alistair support. Okay, that is... Well, I mean, that's perfectly possible. We've just seen it in the last game. Didn't work out so well, though. But I think that was more against a case of Reginald hitting some pretty awesome ultis. And Chowster, of course, farming his way to victory off those ultis, picking up the kills. So that's looking like it's going to be the final pick, unless they do some sudden change and are trolling either us or the Korean commentators. It will be locked in, and there we go, there are your teams. So the switch arounds coming out, so we'll just catch a glimpse of who will be where. So possibly could be Tidus either in mid or top. I would guess he's going to be top. He's got that teleport.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Soaz versus Reginald in the middle there. And actually, that's not a bad counter, because Talon has that dash in and the silence that goes with it. Can do a good bit of damage. Karthus, of course, always starts pretty low on the hit points, so whether he's going to stack them Doran's rings or not is another case. So St. Vicious in the jungle on Trundle, not Karthus, as Franz just did. You did see a game with Karthus in mid. We don't often get surprised by picks, but that was a pretty much out there one.
Yeah, definitely, and as I mentioned, I'm sure there are threads already saying that we're absolute idiots about that, and it's been done on somebody's stream at some time during the day when we weren't watching, and it's actually really perfect. So anyway, we've got those picks in. We are going to get this game underway. Of course, it is match number 2 here at the World Cyber Games Grand Final 2011 in Busan, South Korea. There you can see on your team, on your screen, the French team, and looking a little bit down, I'd say. Concentrated, maybe. Reginald wants to go back to sleep, I think. We saw him earlier passed out before that other game.
I think he's been pretty quiet this tournament, actually. You know, from what I've met him of previous events,
yeah,
he seemed pretty much relaxed and quiet at it. And you know what? I think they want to win this. They've been talking about it off on their streams and such. You know, we're not that bothered. But now it's come down to it. I think they really want to win it. So. I was ready for that one, actually. I was just staring at that screen, ready and waiting for it to get completely crashed by it. And I just about caught the Korean commentators go silent. They don't give you much warning. We don't get no little person running in front of us saying, end credit. What's it normally say? Opening end.
Openigment.
Openigment and end. Yeah, openigment. We don't get much warning here. We are in Korea, of course. The home of esports here in Busan. It is very cold outside as well. Not the weather I was expecting this far in Asia. Winter. I guess I should have. I mean, you just got to look at what hemisphere they're on.
The weatherman.
The weatherman, yeah. That also helps. So looking like we're going to have a little bit of an invade from CDE this time around. We can see Reginald going in there with that light waste, because easily it put it across towards Linak there, who's completely oblivious to them. And I believe France do know they're there again. Clairvoyance picked up by Kuja. No clairvoyance at all on CDE, but didn't seem to worry them last time. If you get good wall placement, I guess you can pretty much guess where most people are. So let's give you a quick roster rundown. While we do have a slight lull, because there's going to be no invade here that I can see. Yellow Star on Cogmore, Tidus on Galio up the top there, Soaz in the middle on Talon, Linak on Udyr, and Kuja on Janna down supporting Yellow Star. For CDE, which is Team USA number 2, they were actually called, and that is their official name on the board. It is going to be St. Vicious in the jungle on Trundle, X-Special and support as Alistair. And at the top it will be Dyrus. Dyrus loves Korea, actually, on Gangplank. And both with teleports, actually, both top lanes, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Reginald, of course, we're in the middle on Karthus this time around. Played an awesome Gragas last game. Chowster, again on Corki, played fantastically well last time on Corki. We do have that invade now. CDE slowly stepping forward. There is a ward there. They know exactly that they're there. And there goes the clairvoyance to say, hi guys, we know you're there. But you know what? There's absolutely nothing they're going to do about it, because they've split across. Reginald's gone back to mid, Galio's gone back to top, and this is just going to get stolen blue unless they actually cover off Darius completely, and St. Vicious is going to back away from this one. And yeah, Linux just saying, fine, you take it, it's yours, and we're not going to do anything about that one. So France really being very passive there and letting CDE come and steal their buffs.
Yeah, we're going to see here how Soaz does. Actually, we are seeing Trundle already head up towards top. Of course, it is Tidus up there with Gallios. We see that push in. There goes the Pillar of Filth down to slow Tidus. He's taking a ton of damage, and he's forced to use that flash to get himself out to safety already. Down at the bottom, we are seeing Linak invade the jungle of CDE as well. In fact, he's going fairly deep, and he's going to go with the wolves. So he's like, well, you can take our blue, but I'm going to steal your entire bottom side. And Trundle's starting up at the top by those golems. So that's good news, actually, for France. Obviously, Tidus needs to be a little bit careful in that top lane. I'm interested to see how the middle lane pans out, because, as you said, Soaz is a fantastic player. You know, with this style of champion, with the Talon, Irelia, Riven kind of style, and I think that Reginald could have a little bit of a hard time in that one. Reginald has started off here with boots and pots, and here we go, gank coming in again onto top, and guess what? You've got no flash this time, Tidus, and there is first blood, and it goes to Dyrus on Gangplank. And a great gank again from St. Vicious. Yeah,
showing perfect jungle work there with your top lane. You've made him use that summoner spell, then you need to return and make him be punished for it. And a great rake there from Soaz straight across Reginald. Of course, that's what he's going to be able to do. Linak getting the support from Kuja there to steal away the blue buff. This is exactly what we talked about, taking that bottom there. And that will go across to Linak now. Does smite it down just as Janna gets out of range. And they're going to try and catch him out there. X-Special needs to be careful, because I don't think he realises that Linak is there, although Linak now coming down river, there is no ward there, has got no vision of it, does come straight around, but unfortunately Yellowstar's too far away to really make a count. And Linak is just going to back away from that one. So Trundle picking up the red meanwhile. Rake once again back across Reginald there. Looking towards the CS early on, we can see that Yellowstar has that slight advantage. We did see Chowster was actually pushed back on the tower, but I don't think that's going to be too much of to tell. It is only about 5 difference. Tidus just coming around and straight towards the middle there. Sidus, Soaz actually using St. Vicious to escape there. Cleverly played that, dashing onto him to get away from that lay waste of Reginald and actually dodge around the slow bar. So very nicely played. We do have Linak as well coming around. Chowster again getting caught out by Yellowstar. And Yellowstar making use of that attack damage shield that he gets off Janna. This is what we mentioned earlier on. Meanwhile in the mid, they're going to come in towards Reginald. Can they manage to take him down? He's very low on health. He will be. And Soaz picking up the kill. Has he got Requiem to follow? No, he does not. He's only level 5. So he cannot make it count. And that is even on gold once again. 6.5 to 6.5k. And all square on kills, Joe. This is going to be a tense one, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. This bottom lane going to be very, very important. The first kills that we see down there, I think, could well decide how this game goes. Last game, Yellowstar didn't really get started, to be honest. We know how amazing of an AD carry he is. However, we didn't see him that much in that last game. But I think Cogmore is going to be one of his stronger options here in that bottom lane. The CS down there at the moment is 42 to 29, so you can see just how good he's doing at the moment. In fact, it looks like he may possibly go back with this one. They've backed away into that bottom side bush. We saw the clairvoyance coming down, was that? No, that's a lie. There's no clairvoyance again on CDE. But I did hear clairvoyance sound. I'm not sure where that actually went down, though. Well, that would have been from Janna, from Kuja. Meanwhile, as we're seeing here up at the top, Tidus is 26 to the 38 of Gangplank. Obviously, that one kill helping Gangplank out as well there. It does have the longsword plus the cloth armor plus the boots from the start. Reginald is now back in his lane. Udia is still there, though. They need to be very careful. He's going to get stunned. Lilbar comes in onto him, ulti pops, and wow, it's 2 kills in the matter of a minute there. And again, it's Linak that was sniffing around. I thought Reginald will spot him up to the top side, but obviously not, and he went a little bit too far out. And that combination is very potent of Soaz and or of Talon and Udia to get those ganks in the middle onto Reginald, and he's already having some real trouble with it.
Yeah, and of course Flash and Exhaust both been used up already by Reginald, so really forcing the issue and making him count as well before they managed to get them up. He did have Requiem this time. Actually, no, he hasn't. He's still level 5. He's really being punished because Soaz is up to level 7 now. So that is really going against Reginald. And Soaz now with a Brutalizer and the Longsword to go with those boots is really in a pretty strong position. Pink goes down on Dragon there from CDE, so we're possibly going to see a Pink ward. No, it's going to be a Wriggles ward by the looks of it from Trundle. It will be. So X-Special backs off there. Has yet to go back and buy. Neither is Chowster. That I can tell. Actually, Chowster must have been back. He's got a pot to go with that, unless he's used... I wouldn't have thought he used gold. I haven't actually checked whether he's had that pot to start with the Dollars. I would be amazed if he has. So I'm guessing he has been back. Cogmore yet to go back either. 68 to 50 down the bottom there. So Yellow Star at the moment in control with the CS. You can see he's not missing a great deal. Ward placement in the river. We can see Linak has was going up there, but Dyrus has that good ward. In fact, very good ward placement here, and you can see Reginald's going to easily get away from this one. Puts the slow bar across. Will manage to gap close there. Exhaust used up as well. Linak is going to continue chasing though. Actually, I think probably could have caught him there, but Soaz had already give up on it. Meanwhile, at the top there, Dyrus does catch down Turdis on the tower there. So Galio now 0 for 2 to Dyrus, and that could be a problem again that we saw in the first round lane. We do see Trundle in the middle at the moment towards them. You can also see Cogmore being chased, but I'd like to have a quick look towards the middle. No, Talon has backed away from that one. So St. Vicious at the moment hasn't had too much success. He had that kill at the top early on, but we've not seen him come out too much as compared to Linak. Linak's just looking for kills all around the map at the moment. You can see he's going back up towards the top there, towards the golems, but Dyrus is way pushed on towards that tower.
Yeah, and the pop, by the way, on Corky, I think after they did that invasion at the start, he portaled back after the minions came out, and he just got it and went straight back into his lane, but still not used it, by the way, which shows you what's going on there. We are seeing Dyrus actually portaling off. Where is he going to go? He's going down. They're going to do Dragon here. And how good was that? Three of them up at the top. That was absolutely amazing. Great, what a call from CDE.
Yeah.
Great call.
Very good. They saw them obviously going up the river there. They knew they were all missing. They've all come to try and gank me. Yeah, see you guys. We're going to go get a free Dragon. And that is going to put CDE back in the lead in goal. 2-2 all square in kills. But 1k lead, and the blue buff again going across towards Reginald there. Or will it? If St. Vicious stops pulling it out, it will be. There we go. And so Galio returning to top. Galio hasn't managed to pick up the Catalyst to Protector yet either. He's having a tough time of it up the top there with Dyrus. He is only 10 CS behind though, so it's not the end of the world just yet for him. Of course, he's talking about Talon as well. Talon obviously ahead on CS and 2 kills up against Reginald. That was one of the big points. We can see down the bottom, Linak actually just snuck into that bushes down the bottom there. Now the camera's caught onto it. Ninja just waiting. Oh, there's a ward straight on top of him, so he's just going to have to port away from that one. They're having another go in the middle there on towards Talon. Meanwhile, I can see Trundle and Reginald continuing to chase. Talon actually down to about half health. Camera not even bothering to look at it. Couldn't give a monkey's. Oh, and there we go. It is the Chinese Yellow Star.
Now finally we get towards that middle area. Actually, Talon did go back about half an hour ago, I think. Dyrus just chipping away on that top turret. And
he's doing more than Chip.
Yeah, he's doing more than Chip. Unfortunately, there were 2 minions there that were stopping the rest of his minions coming over as we get down onto that bottom lane. See pretty much nothing going on there. Yellow Star just going to finish off. And you can see the CS down at bottom, by the way. 102 to 86. Wow. Dyrus. I forgot what I was talking about now. I started coughing halfway through my sentence.
Lovely, lovely. Cogmore, yeah, he does have around about 20 CS difference down the back. Actually, it's about 30 CS difference. Actually, it's 20. I can't add up. I just can't add up. But Linak now coming around, he's going to see it. He has got Oracle there, Linak, so he's going to see that ward that was in the bush. He'll take that on down. The rest of the bottom lane had ported away, so he was never going to get anything from that. I don't know, it's one of them things, whether he knew there was a ward there, or whether he purposely went to get that ward, or whether he just, went down to gang. He's like, I'm here, guys, and they just both ported away. Bloodthirster bought by Cogmore there, very quick, and no boots at all, so going balls out for this manoeuvre, and you can see the speed that he's got. Kuja's like, come on, let's get a move on. Kuja hasn't bothered with boots either, by the way. He's gone straight for Philosopher's Stone. Of course, he is support, so won't have that gold coming in from that. But Yellowstar will be doing a lot of damage there. Just looking back towards the middle. Reginald obviously found his feet again here. Has been caught out twice there. Linak actually going for a little invade. Does have that Oracle on, and really I think he's just going looking for Oracle, looking for wards there.
There we see Dyrus again pushing the pressure onto Tidus's turret. Oops, misjudged that one a little bit. There is Linak going to clear out this ward and the corner bush. And we are seeing Trundle down at the bottom at this point. We are going to get the camera down there in just a second. CDE trying to force them back just a little bit. And this is an important time to try and take down Yellowstar, as we will see Valkyrie over from Jaw. So they're actually focusing now on Kuja, who has to use his flash to get out of that circle of pain of Gangplank's ulti. And it's all pretty much safe. Yeah, the thing is, we have got the Bloodthirster there for Cogmore, so he's just going to go, thank you very much, a few minions, and I am back up to being very, very healthy. And pretty much not a lot that that Trundle can do up there, St. Vicious. Tidus, in the meanwhile, of course, was taken down a couple of times. Has been back, got himself Catalyst and Protector so far. Here we go, ulti going off onto the French team. And didn't really do all that much damage. I'm not sure it's going to really carve them an opening. Let's stay on this bottom, please. We are seeing a lot going on. Blue turret does go down at the top. That, of course, was the first turret of this game. As Reginald and Linak now having a bit of a party in that middle lane. Reginald doing great to keep Linak at bay, and in the process do a lot of damage. Soaz is still pushing onto this bottom turret as well. Yellowstar in there doing a fair bit of damage. Dyrus does decide to go home, and I think we will see Team France back away from this bottom area as well. 2-2 the scoring kills, 19k gold to 16.8k. It's not all bad at the moment for CDE.
Yeah. Domination in the top lane there. Galio not really had much luck with that. Has got Catalyst and gone blasting one as well. We do have the BF sword now on Talon as well, so Talon's going to have a lot of damage to go with that Brutalizer. He's just got basic boots at the moment. We do have Linning poised in the tri-bush, actually teleporting back, so he's not poised to do a great deal at all. And Skara's... Skara, it's because it's Talon, that's why. That's what I'm interested to see in the middle there. Soaz, sorry. He's pushing on towards that tower. We do have pings down. Yeah, Clairvoyance goes down. We see St. Vicious there. He knows that Reginald's going to be coming across, so Soaz is going to try and cut him off on the way. Just sees that slow bar poking out and realises, yeah, probably not really going to get any great deal from this one. And that blue buff will go across to Reginald. Or the Golem buff, as I guess we should correctly call it. For everyone in internet land, points that one out. Double ward getting placed down there by France, and we can see Linak continuing to clear out. He's making good use of that Oracle. That's at least 3 or 4 I've seen him pick up since then. That will be the mid turret going down. Of course, we did mention that he had got that BF sword. He was doing a great deal of damage, and now France going for this dragon, trying to clear out those walls. That's going to be Dyrus teleporting down, trying to catch on towards Linak. Actually, they are split, so as he's not too sure whether he should go for this one. He really should not. He should be backing out of it. Udyr does get caught out there, and the Galio is actually coming around the side. He's not too sure where to plant to. Soaz does manage to get in there. He's going to back out though, because Tidus has just randomly put his ulti down, almost trying to cover off, and that has been an absolute dreadful initiate by France. I cannot think of a worse way for that to go for them, because they just did that so badly. They came split from 3 different angles. Teleport came in far too late, and CDE just pick up that dragon simply with a 4-0 kill count.
It leaves you a little bit speechless. France have done so well in this early game to keep up. I mean, obviously Galio had a few problems in that top lane, but Talon was 2-0 over Karthus in middle, and that was a great start for them. However, when you take fights like that, it's just not going to work out. Gangplank is now 5-0-1 up in that top lane, and once again Dyrus just playing amazingly well. If we look, in terms of CS, 133 to 112 is what we've got on that top lane. Down at the bottom there, 143 to 123. That is Cogmore slightly ahead. Obviously went for the Bloodthirst. He does have his Berserker's Greaves now already built after that death. He did go back for them. Over on the other side, Corki, Sheen plus Phage already done. Karthus has got the Rod of Ages plus a blasting one. We have seen Atmos already picked up here for Gangplank as well.
Yeah, so Gangplank way ahead in terms of build and gold now of anyone on the map. Well, you mentioned, you know, after such a great start, they just seem to absolutely forget what they'd worked towards in that team fight. It just came at it in a split angle. It just never works. It never works when you come at them in split directions. It may be like 1 out of 10 times it will pay off. And people on the internet land will probably be posting YouTube videos of times where it has. But frankly, when you're at this high a team game, you know, when that much coordination, generally it is going to go very badly wrong for you. And it has done. So Yellow Star at the moment down the bottom there has got themselves them Berserker Greaves to go with that boots. And there we go. You can take a look at the goal. Look at Dyrus, 7,500, way ahead of anyone on the map there with that 5-0-1, which is going to make a big difference. And now we can see Dyrus actually invading the jungle, trying to look towards that blue buff. It's not there, so he's going to have to back away. Yellow Star, meanwhile, down the bottom here, 162 CS to 136. He does have that advantage, and that is a little bit of a saving grace for France at the moment. But Trinity Force nearly completed by Chowster once again. And Bloodthirster actually completed by Talon as well there, I just noticed. But really, it is all down to how much influence Dyrus can now put on this game. He has that advantage, and surely going to push on towards his turret. Yellow Star actually trying to harass on towards St. Vicious there, and doing a fair amount of damage, of course. Don't forget he has got that Bloodthirster on there, and Soas is going to try and catch him out on the way back down. It will surely be St. Vicious that's the target. Oh, instead he went on towards X-Special, does get the rake across, tries to pop the ultimate, immediately gets turned around, and Chowster pinning him.
Wow.
Very nicely played by X-Special there. Great headbutt pulverised. Chowster turning around with that damage, and really, you know, supports never get enough credit, but that was fantastic play by X-Special. It probably might lead to the turret going down. Chowster's going to come back with that ulti. Meanwhile, in the mid, you can see they're pushing on towards Linak there. And really, Soas just, you know, he dashed in on towards X-Special to try and get the rake across and try and pop his ulti. But he could have just done it better or just waited out. I'm not too sure whether really the damage was there. I feel that France are like grasping situations that aren't really winnable.
Nice dodge in there from Chowster to stay out of reach of that Cogmore ulti. We are seeing Udyr come down into the bottom lane now. He's going to get himself a little bit of jungle while he's down there. Of course, Dyrus has dropped this first turret up on the top. So we're just watching him farm a little bit for now. He, as I mentioned earlier on, does have Atlas already finished. They need to be careful here of Yellow Star. Nice damage put out by Chowster, and that means they're going to do a little bit more damage onto the turret. Actually flashing from X-Special, knocked back. That is a very dead Yellow Star, and it is St. Vicious who picks up the kill. Chowster will just Valkyrie his way to safety to get away from good old exploding Cogmore. Linak is moving his way in here, but does he have the damage to really do this one with Chowster there as well? Oh, and he's flashed it onto Chowster. Linak is knocked into the wall. Gangplank ulti is down, and CDE decide, nah, not worth it. Let's not overextend. Let's just come away from this one and be thankful that we didn't lose anyone in amongst all that and took the kill onto Yellow Star, who's now 0-2-0. Yeah,
absolutely manhandling the bottom lane there, X-Special. Very well played on Yellow Star, controlled him well, and again saved his AD carry there from headbutting Udyr away from him. So far that means the only thing that was keeping France alive, in my opinion, was bottom lane, and that has been pretty much destroyed. It is 8-2 now to Team USA, and CDE, Chicks Dig Elos, are looking possible for the final against Poland, which will of course be played out tomorrow on the main stage. Sorry guys, I know there's people that have not been liking that one. We've got the exhaust on towards Soas there. Reginald's going to continue on, managed to get the flash across. Dyrus continuing round, trying to judge his path. He has gone around, that's going to be Requiem popped, will not do enough damage, but it will certainly force France back, who were thinking of maybe getting in there. And X-Special's actually I think he's liking this role of playing the cow. Normally he's had to be the passive, either the Sona or the Soraka just sat back or something. But this time he's like, yeah, I can get involved in this game. And maybe this will get him a few more views on his stream, because I remember seeing a post before this like, oh, I don't get any views on my stream, so there's no point streaming.
Well, here we go. Dyrus putting out pressure once again. Kuja, of course, is very low in terms of his total HP and needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught out there. Let's do a lap around and we'll get back into his middle turret. In the meantime, we did see down on the bottom lane the turret going down in favor of CDE again. So they're bringing it back to 2-2. It's 33k gold to 27,500. Dragon is actually up and ready to be taken right now. However, Gangplank is pushing top. But CD do have 4 people in and around this middle area. The question is, are they going to go in for it? Will Gangplank be the one that actually brings them up into this top lane and allows that Dragon to be taken a little bit more easy? It looks like CD actually fancy their chances of taking down this middle turret. Of course, Chaucer is the one that's doing all the damage into it. Ambitious is there as well. Will get slowed by Cogmore, does put the pillar down, and that should be CD backing away, I imagine, down straight to Dragon.
Dyrus actually coming around the back there. He's just going to walk away from this one, no problems. Pops his buff and just strolls off from Linak. Linak's probably going to get the stun here, just 8 oranges and walk away. The rest of his team are not there because they are doing Dragon, and Dyrus is just going to kite them straight into it and flash out. Look at it, he's just going to stand there and completely bait them. Look at that, 3 of them there. He's like, come at me, come at me. And here come the rest of CDE. They are coming at them, and they're going to surely catch them down. Will the Pillar of Full go onto a SOAS? There they are going to engage, and will Galio actually will manage to get his ulti across 5 members of the team. It's just not enough damage. Dyrus does flash out, Dyrus goes down eventually there, and Galio does manage to drop as well. But in comes Chauster doing so much damage. Reginald as well with Requiem, going to land on towards SOAS. Not too sure where we're looking at randomly at Linak there, and SOAS will manage to get away from that one. But really, that was all about Dyrus. They chased on him, and he just delayed them for so long, while the rest of CDE quite happily did Dragon. Now they're going to pick up blue buff. CDE are in full control of this game.
Yeah, the communication there seemed to be top-notch as well from CDE. I mean, for Dyrus to say, hey guys, just finish Dragon. Mate, just take your time, no rush to get up here, I've got this one. You know, it was safe whatever happens. If they chased him, he flashes over the top. If they don't chase him, he just comes out and baits them even more and then runs back into the Baron pit. So, you know, really, really great play from Dyrus. Karthus at the moment does have Sorcerer's Shoes, Rod of Ages, Rabadon's Death Cap, picked up an Elixir as well, just for that boost if he needs it going into a big team fight. What other items of interest do we have here? Of course, Corky finished with the Trinity Force now. Double Doran's Blade plus the Berserker Greaves, Talent, Bloodthirster, second BF sword to add to that Brutalizer at the moment. Udyr does have Wit's End built as well. And for Cogmore, who really needs to do a lot of damage. That's, you know, without Cogmore, France can pretty much kiss this game goodbye. You know, he's got Bloodthirster, Zeal, Crit Cloak up, but he's just not been in the game enough right now. He's 0-3-1, and you can't have that against a 2-0-3 Corky and that 5-1-4 Gangplank. They're just going to run rings around them.
Yeah, when you have a Cogmore, your team is pretty much based around him. And unfortunately, it's just not working out. He's not been able to get into the positions. And CD have just been too clever and picked them off every chance.
Gangplank's a real problem now because he can move so quickly in and out, pushing these turrets all over the place, splitting France up. He's really going to cause so many problems. And it's 11-3, let's not forget. It's 8k gold difference, which for the scoreline is not that bad for France, I suppose. However, it's going to snowball, surely.
Well, what France needs to do really is turtle up. SOAS getting caught out there. They just need to turtle up, defend, farm as much as they can on turrets, and just hope that CD actually delay long enough in their attack. But it's looking like they're going to go for Baron here. And meanwhile, they're going to do 4-man Baron because Dyrus is continuing to push down bottom, continuing that pressure. Of course, he has teleport up if it's required. But meanwhile, he could just continue on. Linak just getting completely caught out there. And if you can destroy Udyr that quickly, then you know you're in a very strong state. Yeah. And look, Galio and Dyrus just being completely delayed. They do not need Dyrus at this Baron fight. That's how strong they are. And France have no reply to this whatsoever. I'm not too sure if they even know it's happening or whether they can do anything about it, because they would be 4v, well, that'd be 4v4, but they're just having to deal with Dyrus down the bottom. We've not been able to look at it yet, but you can see that Dyrus has been pushing that lane throughout, and Tidus has had to try and deal with him. Looking at the CS, you can see across the board 200 plus for both Reginald, Dyrus and Chowster, and 200 plus for just Yellow Pete, Yellow Star, sorry. Yellow Pete getting called out there. and Talon in the mid, who is Soaz. But really, this is just going to be a push straight towards the middle. Soaz surely getting caught out of position. Requiem is going to go across. I don't think it's going to do enough. Jana does save him. It will be enough because Dankflag gets in there, gets a parlay down. You can see Alistair getting all aggressive now, coming straight in. Galio's going to drop down. Yellowstar's low enough, will get away from this one. They're tanking the turret down. Instead, they're just going to go towards that mid turret and take it down quite happily. They will tank it. There is a group of minions coming in now, which will get targeted because Reggie just pulled it away, and that will be the first inhibitor of the game. And I think, you know what, he's going to get followed probably by a couple more.
Look at the level difference as well, by the way, just to point that out. Gangplank 18, Reginald on Carter 17, Chaucer 15, and over on the other team, Talon 15, Jana 10, Cockmore 14, Udia 13. Just there's no way they can keep up.
It's just totally snowballed against them, and that's really how it's happened from the first game as well. It was identical. Dyrus again putting a bit more damage on there, and I think they've just sort of slipping into solo queue mentality here, because you can just see Linak going straight up mid at the moment, almost passive farming, just straight up mid. He's like, yeah, I'm not that bothered if you actually come and kill me, to be honest. I'll just continue pushing it. And I think they've kind of Gangplank with a laugh there as well, just as he ports away. Look at Gangplank's build, my god. It's Warden's Mail, Trinity Force, Atmas and Wriggles, along with that Hog. He's just very, very strong. 616 Dyrus, he's been playing fantastic this whole tournament, really. And you know what? He's a really nice guy. You actually get to meet him. You see his online persona, but he's a really nice guy. He just is one of those lads. And he's really happy to be here as well. He's quite a genuine guy that when you get a minute to meet him. Obviously, he's got his online persona of having no emotions, but believe me, they're there.
You just have to find them. They're hidden. They're hidden somewhere in amongst everything. In terms of gold, a lot is the difference right now, and Linak's going to be caught out once again. Slowbar went down. I mean, Linak in the middle of absolutely nowhere in that one, and there's no way that they can even compete France while they're playing like this, just saying. They're not having a good game whatsoever. Although, you know, CDE, they've come in so strong. Both games, the start has been very, very close, Demon, with not being able to really call everything out. Here we see a big fight down from Yellow Star. Going to go down. Tidus managing to finish his ulti for a little while before he gets exploded. And there was one kill in there. It came in onto Reginald, who, you know, he's Karthus. He's supposed to die after all. And we're going to see that inhibitor finished off. Dyrus just hammering that turret down. Inhibitor goes, middle inhibitor, of course, is already down. I just see Dyrus just going through there and finishing off that inhibitor up in the top lane on his own as well. And are they going to try and push and take down Soaz? No, he's a little bit out of reach, but that pillar's going to stop him going anywhere near this turret. We wait for these minions to come in. Second Nexus turret does go down. They're going to dive it now onto Soaz. Another kill just to finish things off, and all the damage now comes in onto the Nexus, and it's CDE representing the USA, who are going to the grand final to meet Poland tomorrow. Gamebird will be waiting, and a thoroughly solid performance from CDE, and you can see how relaxed they are about it, like it was some everyday game.
Just made the final, whereas you see Poland were like celebrating like they'd won the thing. It was such a great achievement for them, but so Poland versus America in the finals, and you know what, CDE are looking very strong, but then again Poland look very strong against CLG, so who knows, it is a different day of the tournament. I guess they're going to make sure they don't go out partying too heavily tonight, that's for sure, unlike some teams did last night, whose names I won't mention, but they've definitely gone out the tournament today. So tomorrow we're going to be having obviously the third and fourth playoff. That will be for the bronze medal, which will be France versus CLG. As we now know, that's beginning at I believe 1 o'clock Korean time. So that's plus 9 GMT or minus 9 GMT or whatever it is. You guys on Internet Land can work that one out. And of course the final will be starting directly after that finishes, or depending on how long the actual match lasts for. But 3:30 is the time that's being given for the League of Legends final, following directly after the StarCraft 2 final, which, of course, precedes the Counter-Strike final. It is all finals day tomorrow on the main stage, so stay tuned for that one. Obviously, this is D-Man and Joe bringing you the action for League of Legends here on stage 2. Joining me tomorrow will be Jat and Skara from Dignitas. That will be for the bronze match, which will be CLG versus France there, and of course myself and Joe will be bringing you the League of Legends final over on the main stage. Joe, I've got to say that was a very